Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down something that a lot of people go through but don't really understand, the diagnostic voice evaluation. If you've ever wondered what really goes on when you get your voice checked out, well, we're pulling back the curtain and walking you through it step by step. Think about it. Your voice is so much more than just sound. It's your signature, it's a huge part of your identity, how you connect with people, how you make your point. But what happens when that signature tool just isn't working right? How do you even figure out where the problem is coming from? Well, here's the very first thing you need to know. You're not in this alone. Figuring out a voice problem isn't a one-person job. Nope, it's a team sport, and you need different experts to see the whole picture. And that makes total sense when you think about it. A voice issue can come from so many different places. It could be a medical thing, it could be behavioral, maybe even neurological. And since no single person can be an expert in all of that, a team approach is absolutely crucial to get the full story. So let's meet the two key players on your team. You can think about it like this. The laryngologist, that's your hardware specialist. They're the medical doctor, the ENT, and they're looking for physical stuff. Disease, any weird growths, maybe paralysis. Then you've got the voice pathologist. They're the software expert. They analyze how you're using your voice, your habits, your behaviors, how efficient it is. You absolutely need both to figure out what's really going on. Okay, so the team is in place. Where does the evaluation actually start? You might be surprised. It's not with some fancy machine. It's with a conversation. It all starts with your story. And I really can't stress this enough. Before any scope or camera goes anywhere, the clinician has to understand what you're experiencing. Your story, in your own words, gives them all the essential clues they need to start their detective work. Now, this interview isn't just a casual chat. It has a really clear purpose. Your clinician is on a fact-finding mission with 4 main goals. First, they want to discover the potential causes of the problem. Second, they need a super detailed description of your symptoms. Third, they have to understand the effects. How is this thing impacting your breathing, your vocal folds, all of it? And finally, all of this information starts building the foundation for a plan that's just for you. All right, so after listening to your story, it's time to get a direct look at the source of the sound itself, the larynx. This is where the team gets to see exactly what's physically going on when you try to make a sound. This is a big one. It's a non-negotiable rule in voice care. Trying to start therapy without a doctor actually looking at the vocal folds is just guessing. And it's not just unscientific, it can be downright dangerous. You have to rule out any serious conditions before you start working on behaviors. The procedure for doing this is called a laryngoscopy. That's the technical term, but all it really means is a way to see your vocal folds because they're tucked away deep in your throat where you can't just see them otherwise. And they've got a few different tools to get that view. For the absolute sharpest, most magnified picture, they might use a rigid endoscope that goes through your mouth. But to see how your voice works when you're actually talking or singing, they'll use a flexible endoscope that goes through your nose. And then there's the real magic, stroboscopy. It uses a flashing light to create what looks like a slow-motion video, letting them see the vocal folds vibrating in incredible detail. It's amazing. So once they've had a look at the physical parts, it's time to analyze the output, the sound itself. And this is a 2-part deal. It involves both expert listening and some pretty cool objective measurements. First up is the auditory perceptual assessment. This is where the clinician uses their most finely tuned instrument, their ear. A trained voice pathologist can hear incredibly subtle things. They're listening for specific qualities. Is it rough, breathy, strained, and basically creating a profile of your voice's unique sound. But it's not just about what they can hear. They also grab objective data. Acoustic analysis uses software to measure your voice and turn the sound into hard numbers. This gives them precise data on things like your pitch and loudness, and it creates a baseline so they can track your progress over time. And finally, you gotta check the engine. Aerodynamic analysis measures the airflow and pressure coming from your lungs when you speak. It basically tells the team how well your respiratory system, your power source, is supporting your voice. Okay, we've talked about the team, the technology, the analysis, but we've left out the single most critical piece of this entire puzzle, the person who's actually at the center of it all. And this is a huge mindset shift for a lot of people. See, unlike a surgery where the doctor does all the work for you, voice therapy is a true partnership. The clinician is your coach, your guide, but you're the one who has to do the exercises and change the old habits. The power to create that change, ultimately, it lies with you. And this is not some rare problem that only affects a few people.
Just look at the professions most at risk here: teachers, singers, salespeople. We call these folks professional voice users, people whose entire livelihood depends on having a healthy, reliable voice. It just goes to show you how common and how impactful these disorders can be.
So, after all this information has been gathered, your story, the images, the measurements, how does it all come together? Well, it forms a clear roadmap, your path to recovery. Every single piece of the evaluation puzzle, your personal history, the visual exam, what the clinician heard, and all that objective data, it all gets put together. And this leads to a very specific diagnosis, and most importantly, a treatment plan that is tailored specifically to you and what your voice needs. In the end, a diagnostic voice evaluation isn't just about finding out what's wrong. It's really about empowering you with the knowledge and the plan to get your voice back. It's the first step in writing a brand new chapter for your voice with you as the main character. So the only question is, are you ready to help write it?